Hi, my name is Emma George, and I'm a junior from Canton, Ohio, and I'm doing a double major in medicinal chemistry and pharmacology through Toledo's College of Pharmacy. First of all, I want to congratulate everyone on making it this far through the semester. With the COVID pandemic, it has been a challenging time for all of us when it comes to staying on track and making sure that we are prioritizing not just schoolwork, but our own mental health. But as we near the end of the semester, it's time to start looking towards the next one. And with that comes scheduling. So along with knowing when you're able to start registering, it's also important to know what classes you're going to be taking. Scheduling can sometimes feel like a daunting task when you're not quite sure what you're supposed to be taking the next semester. One of my biggest tips when it comes to scheduling is make sure that you're meeting with your advisor. They are there to help you, they want to talk to you, and they'll help you set out a plan of study to make sure that you hit all of your goals for graduation on time. A plan of study is where you map out what courses you're going to take each semester leading up to when you're supposed to graduate to ensure that you have all of your qualifications met so there's no surprises when you hit your semester to graduate. I know some classes you might have to bear through just because they're part of the coursework, but when it comes to electives, make sure you're branching out and taking things that truly interest you and will benefit you in whatever field you want to go into once you graduate. When figuring out what electives you should take, reach out to upperclassmen to figure out what the best courses they've taken are and see if they align with what you would want to do. When it comes to scheduling for your classes, it's important to know what day registration opens so that you can ensure you get the spot in the classes you want to take before they fill up. You can find this easily on Toledo's website, and it's broken down by your class rank, with senior scheduling first and freshman scheduling last. I know personally I'm the type of person who stays up till midnight the day of my registration to ensure that no matter what, I get a spot in the classes I want to take and that I don't have a fear of being shut out. In the registration portal, there's a section called Plan Ahead, which is my personal favorite section when it comes to getting ready for scheduling. Within the Plan Ahead section, it lets you map out exactly what classes you're going to take and ensure that the sections you're taking of them don't overlap and that you'll have time to get from class to class. And the best part about it is once you've spent all this time figuring out exactly what you want your schedule to be, when it comes time to actually register for those courses, you're able to load up that preset plan to make your registration simple and streamlined. So there's no more guessing around on the day of registration, and instead you can easily import all of your previously made plans to ensure that you get the classes you want to take for the next semester. So when you go to my UT page and go under My Registration Steps, there's the Register/Drop/Withdraw Courses section, which is where you will go to register for your classes. And when that opens up, there's a section called Plan Ahead, which is my personal favorite. When you click Plan Ahead, it gives you the option to pick your term for planning. With fall 2021 coming up, that's what we'll click here. So when we open it up, we can see that I already have a plan made for registration. So when you go to make a plan, it's very simple. You go straight into what class you want to take. You just type in the classes that you've predetermined you want to take, and it lets you add them to the plan where you can see the mock-up schedule of what you'll be taking. Next to all of mine, you can see that I've already registered for all of these classes, as my registration was last week. But because I set up this plan, it made it super simple when it came to registering because I was able to just load up the plan and click add on every single one of these classes. So it was done in a matter of seconds. One important thing to consider when it comes to figuring out what classes you're going to take in the next semester is making sure you're not taking too many credit hours. Because while it might seem good on paper when it comes to staying on top of your degree plan, it's not always the best when it comes to making sure that you're completing all that coursework and aren't falling behind in all of those classes due to too much overload. To be considered a full-time student, you need 12 credit hours, and the max credit hours you can take while still paying regular tuition is 18. But taking 18 credit hours can be a lot of work. I know personally I've been stuck taking 17 some semesters, and it can get overwhelming pretty quickly. A good goal is to keep it around 14, 15, or 16, because then that still gives you time to complete all of your coursework for all of your classes without feeling overwhelmed by overbooking yourself. It's also important to research what classes you're going to be taking to know which professor you should take if there's multiple options, or if there's a certain section that works better, or if you should be taking an honors section if you're in the honors college. I hope some of these tips have been helpful when it comes to registration. I know it can be a stressful couple weeks, but it'll be worth it in the end, as we're almost done with this semester. So keep powering through and go Rockets!